Hello guys and welcome back to our YouTube channel and welcome back to our interview series. And today we have a new guest, the leader of African Club, Mr. George Edonu. So George, how are you?
I'm doing well. What about you?
Okay. So tell us a bit about yourself and how you become the leader of this club.
All right. George is a student of Higher School of Economics from the Graduate School of Business. I had my bachelor's at one of the leading universities in Ghana and West Africa, University of Cape Coast, in education management. With my work experience, it spans across that of education. How I became a leader, I actually have held diverse leadership roles, which started way during my senior high school at the college. After completion of my college, I became the public relations officer for my year group. And then afterwards, with my 1 year service, I also was voted as the publicity officer for my municipality. And then with life here in Moscow, I also was selected as the welfare chair for the Ghanaian community in Russia here. And then, of course, the biggest post, I deem it much as a good privilege to serve as the chairman for the African student in Higher School of Economics. So that is actually a brief history about George.
Okay, so as you are the leader of one of the biggest national club in this university, and I know that African students, they are really very active.
Yeah.
So I want to ask, if you I know that you have around 400 students in your club, so they must have a lot of questions. So how do you handle that pressure to answer all those questions, and how do you overcome that pressure?
All right, so yes, of course, it's a huge task as the leader of a community with students from diverse African countries. I want to add that ASA, or probably the African Student Association, is just not an association of students from different African countries. Is a community built on unity, love, and then solidarity. So with the question you just asked, of course, these are students with diverse backgrounds. So what I do with my leadership is I liaise with students from, of course, we have some from the French-speaking African countries. I liaise with them. I select one of them whom I can kind of communicate to liaise whatever information I want to pass across. And then also I have some supporting executives who are also on their role, in their discharge of their duties as well. And then, of course, I update the community. One of the things I do is getting to know the people, coming closer to them. So, of course, I engage them so much on our page and on individual basis. And with challenges that actually pops up, I have able executives where when there is any issue, we actually deliberate on and come up with possible solutions to curtail that situation.
Okay. That's impressive. So as you told that students coming from different parts of Africa, right? So what are some of your most positive or negative moments with students handling all their queries?
All right, so I'll start with the positive ones. The positive ones has to do with the high sense of solidarity and communalism that students within the association actually uphold, and that of solidarity as well. And I must say it is something that I embrace so much so far as that is concerned. Just as our motto goes, you are because I am. That is Ubuntu. That is actually the motto we strive on. It's an African philosophy where we actually kind of create a community that embraces all views and accept people irrespective of where they are from. So with the positive side, I just love the spirit of unison and then the spirit of solidarity. And then for the negative side has to do with how we kind of balance activities with other campuses that HSC has, St. Petersburg and other campuses to mention. Yes, that is one of the positive, negative or challenging things we are battling with. But then with our discharge of duties, we communicate with them as well to come up with some activities just to get them on board, students, so that they kind of not feel left out or probably neglected, and concentrating much on the students within Moscow. Yeah, so that is actually one of the negative side I as a leader am battling with.
Okay.
Yes.
And what, like, if you have students from different countries from Africa,
yes,
so you must have different culture there as well.
Exactly.
So what kind of events, what kind of cultural events you organize in this university, or maybe the other universities of HSC?
All right. So with that, of course, the paramount one I'll make mention has to do with the HSC Unity Fest, which brings on board pool of students with diverse cultures. It's actually an opportunity to immerse ourselves with rich cultures from other African countries, not only African countries, other countries, students from Asian and Middle East. Yes, it's a very big event that, of course, African Student Association has actually been playing an in-depth role in that. And then, of course, we have an event called Know Your Roots. Know Your Roots, what we actually do is we pick an African country and then talk or go, we select a facilitator who will talk much more on this African country for us to know their culture, what their norms and values are all about, so that we learn as a community. So with the Know Your Roots is something that we do randomly. We just select an African country and then we get a facilitator to help with that session. And then not only that, we also do what we call knowing some key personalities within your country, where we select some prominent individuals within some African countries. That we are not gender biased. We mix that with both males and females, those in the business sphere and those in the political sphere as well, to talk much about their background and then also give much information about what they are thriving on now as role models that most of us may probably look up to. Yeah, so these are some of the key activities we do as a community.
Wow, that's impressive, and that's a really good idea to choose one country and then talk about that country in general. So what are your future plans in 2025? What events will you organize, or like something extra what you want to say that what you will do?
All right, so of course there is this initiative that the association is actually aiming at improving and kind of putting much energy in it. It's something that is actually ongoing already. That is HSC to the world, where we actually send forth news or messages about HSC to our brothers back home who actually want to thrive on so far as the educational ladder is concerned. And then also not only that, there's one particular initiative that was in the pipeline where we bring on board key African leaders probably here, where we can actually hold seminars for the African students, not only knowing their roots, but also learning something from these key prominent people. We want to bring them on board. And then, of course, one of the things that is so dear to our hearts as a community is building the social life of students within the community. And as such, we plan visiting or bringing on board this initiative of visiting some interesting and traditional or cultural venues, or probably museums, or kind of some interesting places within the jurisdiction of this federation, so that our people who actually come within the federation can learn more, adapt to, and also kind of gain much in-depth knowledge about the Russian culture, their values and their norms as well.
Wow, that's interesting. So it was a really pleasure to talk with you, and we hope that we will see you again in nearest future. And guys, don't forget to subscribe our channel, like the video, and share the video with all of your friends. Thank you, and bye bye.